Welcome to Crispy Robots. 6 past midnight. Can you identify all 6 serial killers from the clues? Let's find out. Here are 6 clues for serial killer number 1. Good luck. Clue number 1. Two of this killer's victims were abducted while visiting Lake Sammamish State Park in Issaquah, Washington. The name Sammamish is derived from 2 Native American terms, Sammer, meaning the sound of the blue crane, and Mish, meaning river. Clue number 2. A knitted ski mask was one of this killer's many tools the police found inside of his automobile's glove compartment. Clue number 3. This killer would often wear an arm sling to lure potential victims to his car by asking them for help with a task that he could not complete due to an arm injury. This trick was used as inspiration for a scene in the film Silence of the Lambs. Clue number 4. Several women fell victim to this killer while he was enrolled in the University of Utah Law School. Clue number 5. Co-eds were a frequent target of this killer, including several who belonged to college sororities. Sororities are commonly identified by letters from the Greek alphabet. Clue number 6. Fortunately, not everyone who encountered this killer became his victim. Some witnesses reported seeing a suspicious man driving a tan VW Beetle near the locations where victims disappeared. Can you identify the serial killer from the clues? It is time to reveal the mystery serial killer. Theodore Robert Bundy was an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, and murdered young women and girls during the 1970s. Ultimately, he confessed to 30 homicides that he committed in 7 states. Several people who knew him thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
I'm the most cold-hearted son of a bitch you'll ever meet.
A quote by Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was executed by 2,000 volts in the electric chair at Florida State Prison on the 24th of January, 1989. Some believe that his executioner, whose identity was concealed, was female. We can only hope so. Here are 6 clues for serial killer number 2. Good luck. Clue number 1. This killer was given the nickname the Colonel because he once ran several popular fried chicken restaurants. Clue number 2. He was able to immobilize his victims by tricking them into wearing handcuffs. Clue number 3. He was a member of a men's civic organization that often engaged in activities to benefit the community. He was even voted Man of the Year in 3 different cities by this organization. Clue number 4. This killer was fond of burying his victims until he ran out of real estate. Clue number 5. He owned a home renovation and repair company, and some of his victims were young men he hired to work for him. Clue number 6. This serial killer often wore special gloves, especially when he attended birthday parties dressed as a clown. Can you identify the serial killer from the clues? It is time to reveal the mystery serial killer. John Wayne Gacy was an American serial killer who raped, tortured and murdered at least 33 boys and young men during the 70s. Police found 26 of his victims buried in the crawl space of his house. Visitors often commented on a foul stench coming from his home. Several people who knew him thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
Don't you know, clowns can get away with murder?
A quote by John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy was executed by lethal injection at the Stateville Correctional Center near Chicago, Illinois, on the 10th of May, 1994. After his death, his brain was removed. After all, he didn't need it. Here are 6 clues for serial killer number 3. Good luck. Clue number 1. This serial killer used public transportation as his main method to travel to and from his crimes. Clue number 2. He would often ask children to paddle him with a wire brush until blood ran down his legs. Clue number 3. This killer often served raw meat to his children during a full moon. number 4. He lured one of his young victims with the promise of attending a children's birthday party. Clue number 5. This serial killer loved children, especially when they were cooked with carrots, onions, celery and salt. Clue number 6. He once sent a letter to her victim's mother, describing how he strangled, beheaded, dismembered, cooked, and ate her 10-year-old daughter. Can you identify the serial killer from the clues? It is time to reveal the mystery serial killer. Albert Hamilton Fish was an American serial killer who was suspected of raping, torturing, murdering, beheading, dismembering, cooking and eating as many as 100 young boys and girls, some as young as 4 years old. He once bragged that he had children in every state. Several people who knew him thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
How sweet and tender her little lass was, roasted in the oven. It took me 9 days to eat her entire body.
A quote by Albert H. Fish. Albert H. Fish was convicted in New York in 1935 of kidnapping and murder, and sentenced to die in the electric chair. He was executed on the 16th of January, 1936, in the electric chair at Sing Sing prison. According to a witness, it took 2 jolts of electricity before he died. It was quite shocking. Here are 6 clues for serial killer number 4. Good luck. Clue number 1. This serial killer had a foot fetish and would often ask women for pictures of their feet. Clue number 2. Survivors of his attacks often reported that he had very bad teeth, an attribute that eventually led to his identification. Clue number 3. He gave hundreds of pieces of jewelry to family members. They were shocked to learn that these items of jewelry were stolen from his victims. Clue number 4. He wore a pair of shoes with a unique footprint. As such, police were able to identify the store where the killer bought them. Clue number 5. He always wore black clothes, so he would blend in with his surroundings and not easily be seen. Clue number 6. This serial killer often drew pentagrams at his crime scenes, and once drew a pentagram on the inside thigh of one of his victims. Can you identify the serial killer from the clues? It is time to reveal the mystery serial killer. Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker, terrorized California residents of Los Angeles and San Francisco from 1984 to 1985. During this time, he robbed, raped, sodomized, shot, stabbed, and or murdered dozens of innocent people, ranging in age from 8 to 80. Several people who knew him thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
Death always went with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland.
A quote by Richard Ramirez. On the 20th of September, 1989, Richard Ramirez was convicted in California of 67 felonies including 13 murders. He was given 19 death sentences and was sentenced to die in California's gas chamber. After over 23 years on death row at San Quentin, Richard Ramirez died of cancer. Serial killer? Meet the silent killer. Here are 6 clues for serial killer number 5. Good luck. Clue number 1. This serial killer enjoyed taunting a local newspaper by sending them letters and hand-drawn pictures describing the details of his crimes. Clue number 2. This killer enjoyed killing so much, he often left his DNA at the crime scene. Clue number 3. He once left a letter for reporters in a mechanical engineering book in his local library. The letter described, in grisly detail, the torture and murders of several victims. Clue number 4. He always tied up his victims before torturing and murdering them. He was very fond of the clove hitch and slip knots. Clue number 5. He would often hide in the victim's closet, having previously snipped the phone lines to prevent calls to 911. Clue number 6. He once sent a floppy disk to the police, unaware that metadata on the disk contained his name and church he attended. Can you identify the serial killer from the clues? Get ready for the reveal. It is time to reveal the mystery serial killer. Dennis Rader is an American serial killer who is more commonly known by his nickname, BTK, which stands for bind, torture, and kill. Between 1974 and 1991, he killed, bound, and tortured 10 people after studying their behaviors and habits 4 weeks or months beforehand. On the 27th of June, 2005, he gave a dramatic, televised confession in which he described killing 10 victims in great detail. Several people who knew him thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
How many do I have to kill before I get my name in the paper or some national attention?
A quote by Dennis Rader. On the 19th of August, 2005, Dennis Rader was sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences in the state of Kansas. He is currently in solitary confinement in a correctional facility in El Dorado, Kansas, where he is serving his sentence of at least 175 years. He should be getting out in the year 2180. I think he'll be leaving much sooner than that. Here are 6 clues for serial killer number 6. Good luck. Clue number 1. This serial killer would strip all the flesh off his victims, leaving only the skull and bones. He would then paint the skulls and use them for decorations. Clue number 2. When police searched his home, they found a stock pot on the stove containing several body parts, including male sex organs. Clue number 3. He often used a drill to drill into some of his victims' heads, hoping to turn them into zombies that he could use as his sex slaves. Clue number 4. He killed his first victim by bludgeoning him to death with a barbell. Clue number 5. He once stole a mannequin from a department store so he could engage with it in a sexual manner. Clue number 6. This serial killer once worked at a chocolate factory. That may remind you of a fruit salad. Can Can you identify the serial killer from the clues? It is time to reveal the mystery serial killer. Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, because he frequently ate his victims, was arrested on the 22nd of July, 1991, after an encounter with police. He confessed to 11 murders, and later to the killing and dismembering of 17 people between 1978 and 1991. When police searched his apartment, they found 74 Polaroid pictures detailing the dismemberment of his victims, and found a total of 4 severed heads in his refrigerator, and a total of 7 skulls in his bedroom and closet. Elsewhere, investigators discovered 2 entire skeletons, a pair of severed hands, 2 severed and preserved penises, and 3 dismembered torsos dissolving in an acid solution in a 57-gallon drum. Several people who knew him thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
I have to start eating at home more.
A quote by Jeffrey Dahmer. On the 15th of February, 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in jail. He was unable to complete his sentence because he died in 1994 after a fellow inmate beat him to death. Too bad he couldn't stay longer. At least he finally made it to the 6 past midnight zone. Nighty night, and thank you for watching.